Welcome, anybody who happens to be watching, to AG Plays Yumina the Ethereal. I do believe it is part 32? Yeah, part 32. Yeah. So last time, Rashane suddenly appeared and he was like, "Hey, I'm letting you come back to the Celestial City, but I'm giving you a choice." But we all know that when they give a character a choice, they're gonna end up going anyways, for one reason or another. And she did. So yeah. Dots. Sigh. It's been hours since Rashane was here. He just showed up out of nowhere and shocked us all with what he revealed. I obeyed him and left us. She continued to believe, but she also knew her faith might be misplaced. She put those two things on the scales and chose for the former. The rest, well, there was the time we spent together. Even that wasn't enough to make her stay. It was such a sudden parting, it happened too quickly. I left almost immediately, leaving formalities for later. Couldn't bring myself to talk to anyone, so I just withdrew to my room. Sometimes my sighs break the silence in the room. There's a lot for me to think about, such as how we will be treated from now on and all the unanswered questions we have. But my head won't do its job right. Something is amiss. Something I need to properly organize my thoughts is lacking. I need to, yeah. Thirsty. I whisper to myself in my room. I sound hoarse even to myself. I feel the air has snagged it. I should go someplace more comfortable. I force my body into motion and get off the bed. Then I leave my room as if trying to escape the silence. Go to the cafeteria. We had good times there last route.
Ayumu, 何やってんの?
Going to get a drink. Taking a break, can't you tell? Yumina comes up to me as if I'm enjoying a drink on the beach. Or on a bench. Same thing. She sounds... that's a typo. Decidedly unamused, and there's a frown on her face.
見ればわかるのは当然でしょ。じゃなくて、あんたはこんなところで何やってるのかってこと。
Walking down the hallway. Well, taking a break.
あゆむ、大丈夫?
No, I'm actually thirsty. What makes you think I wouldn't be okay?
ふぬけてる。
What? Yumina sure doesn't beat around the bush. I guess that's one of her defining traits. She ignores my incredulous stare and continues. It's as if she's trying to convince a voter to vote for her in the student council war.
私、納得してないわ。
You mean that I would tell Goda?
言っちゃったんじゃないわ。あれは連れて行かれたって言うべきよ。
I don't know. She made her own decision, technically.
違うわ、騙されてるの。今の愛は周りが見えてない。
You'd go that far? I really don't think there was any ill will on their part.
そうとも言い切れないでしょ、実際。だってさ、リシェイのやってることは怪しすぎじゃない？あんなのの言うこと聞くのおかしいわ。今ならガレオンの気持ちもほんのちょっぴりだけど理解できる。
Oh my.
協力するって言いながらいつもなんとなく上から目線。首を突っ込んでくるくせに肝心なことは隠してばっか。
Even so, I can't turn against him just like that. She's revered him for such a long time. At the very least, she's different from us, since we've only fought in the Federation for a short time. I've been trying to get into the Celestial City from childhood.
だって私そんなの知らないわよ。
Yumina suddenly raised her voice even more. I wonder if I said anything to upset her. Know about what?
愛がエリートアルゴダ人を目指してたとか、子供の頃からお姉さんに憧れてたとか、そういうの全部よ。
Yeah, that was never really shared with her, was it?
歩夢はいろいろしてたみたいじゃない。 こっち来てからじゃなくて学園からね。
You've known her for the same amount of time. Pretty sure she came to the room we were both there. I only know what I heard myself, like when I made small talk with her.
それを私は知らないって言ってるの。
She looks really angry now. Her anger really takes me back. I can't even think straight. Wait a minute, what are you so mad about?
怒りたくもなるわよ。泣きたいからよ。ほんとバカバカしい。なんであんたそんなにヘラヘラしてるわけ？こんなところで何もせずにさ。
Lazing about? I didn't mean to.
言い方が悪かった。とにかくそんなに平然と何もせずにいられるのが信じらんないのよ。
Well...
だって愛が連れて行かれたのよ。離れ離れにされちゃったのよ。こういう時くらいもっと取り乱したっていいと思うわよ。いくらあんたでもね。
What's that supposed to mean? You want me to be distraught?
学園で生徒会大戦が終わった後にさ。
Suddenly, Yumina's voice quiets down. Her anger makes way for a gentle intonation? It's impossible for me to tell what kind of emotions she's feeling right now. But it's painfully clear that she's absolutely serious about this.
私がクラカーたちに連れて行かれた時、みんなはすぐに助けに来てくれたでしょ。すごい意外で驚いたけど、私たちなら当たり前だったのかなって今は思う。だって大切な仲間だもん。理屈ではどうにもならなくたって、それでも動きたくなるのが人情ってもんよ。だから利口ぶって相手に従う必要もないんじゃないかなって。
But this is different from back then. Even if we don't completely trust them, they at least explain why they took Aya with them. And more importantly, Aya herself was okay with it.
そんなの些細なことよ。
Is it? Yumina flatly shoots down my reasoning. It's unusual for Yumina to be this assertive. It must be because she's totally serious about Ai. But the anger she displayed earlier is no longer present in her voice. On the contrary, she sounds almost melancholic now.
だってそこまで真剣に悩めるんだから、いちいち気にする必要ないじゃない。ほら、歩ってさ、めんどくさがりでサボりたがりの性格だったでしょ。面倒ごとに関わらないとか、何事もないのが一番いいとかいつも言ってた。
Now that you mention it, that's true.
それなのにいつの間にかちゃかり変な転入生と仲良くなってたじゃない。愛の昔のこととか将来の夢のこととか少しずつだけど話してたんでしょ。なんか知らない間に仲良くなってて、そのうち歩が愛の保護者みたいになってたわよね。
Man, you could feel the jealousy, I think. I'm getting her tone of voice correct.
それってどうしてなの？歩らしくないと思うんだけど。
Well, I try to come up with the answer. Like Yumina said, it's unlike me to voluntarily get deeply involved with anyone else. With the rival candidates, I did it because Kara ordered me to do so. That's where my motivation came from. But it's different with Ai. Kara was vigilant of her, and Yumina treated her normally like the rest of her friends. But then I suddenly realized I was spending a lot of time with her. Even if it didn't have anything to do with the election campaign, even when it was completely random. Despite all reason, I found myself enjoying that warm atmosphere.
もちろんそれが悪いことだとか言ってるんじゃないのよ。むしろそのおかげで私たち論説部の結束が強くなったんだろうし、そういう意味では私も感謝してる。 でも歩夢はそういう計算を考えて愛と仲良くなったわけじゃないわよね。
Well, no, that was never my plan.
なら他に理由があるんでしょ。
A reason? We met only because of a turn of events, I think. We simply ended up being in the same club. But all of a sudden, it had become natural for her to be by my side. I'd come to understand what she was like underneath her eccentric behavior. I admit that, to Yumina and the others, that may have been strange. That's because the reason why I did it differed from the simple fellow feeling the others had.
歩夢
I just can't leave her alone. I mean, I can't get her out of my mind. I wonder what she's thinking, or if she's doing her job right. That must be why my mind feels so fuzzy right now.
歩夢
I keep wondering if it was okay to let her go with Rashane, or if I should have tried to stop her. I think the core of it all is the emotion you're thinking of.
そっか。よかった。
She heaves a sigh of relief. Can't read her mind, of course, but her voice conveys her emotions. I think she feels a little better now. I know I do. I re-examine my own heart. The thoughts I harbored during the events leading up to this. My dealings with I and the direction they were going in. Also, my own wishes. I should take a little time to reorganize them for myself.
つまり私が言いたいのは
Suddenly I hear Yumina's voice from overhead. I look up and find that she's in the middle of a sermon.
アルゴダのルールとか愛の目標とかそういうのを抜きにして歩夢が何をするつもりなのかそれを確かめたかったわけよ。
Let's see.
ストップ。別に今すぐじゃなくていいの。
Okay then.
ただこう友達として間抜けな顔を見せられるのが嫌だってだけよ。だから今はこれで十分。
Okay, thanks. I should shake off the mood I was in until just now. I stand up with determination. My throat still feels dry, but my body feels a little lighter now. I must really have looked like a coward from an outsider's perspective. It makes sense now that she got angry at me. I have to thank Yumina. I smile as broadly as I can with that in mind.
まったくあんたって変なところで世話のかかる人間よね。
Right. Wait a minute, I don't want to hear that from you. You're far more.
憎まれ口叩けるならもう平気ね。私おやつ食べてくるから。
Ayumu should join you because he also wants to get a drink. Yumina smiles at me. It's a fleeting, somewhat sad smile. Then we both look away at the same time. We greet each other and go in separate directions. Aw, man. I should do what I want to do. So, I should try to pursue Ai. She's gone somewhere far away, but I strongly feel the desire to see her again. Even if that means making an enemy out of Algoda. Yes, I'm sure making an enemy out of Algoda will definitely turn out fine, especially with the Ether frame. Oh my god, so many dots. Dots?
ようやく必要な駒はすべてが揃った。
What's the point of having dots when you can instantly identify the voice as Rashane? I can hear a voice.
長い旅もこれで終わり。この宇宙が僕らにとっての永住の地になる。
Hmm. Rashane, are you being mind controlled by extra dimensionals? Are you an extra dimensional? Or are you something else entirely? It's. Hmm. It's a gentle voice that fills the void in my heart. I feel as if I'm being cradled. Oh, this is from my perspective. But it doesn't reach all the way to the bottom of my heart. I find myself trying to reject it. I'm trying to cling to something else.
すべては筋書き通りだ。
So I face reality. I jostle my consciousness into action as if scooping it from an ocean of dreams. Well, first glimpse of Algoda, I guess.
目が覚めたかな。
Hi.
リシェイン様。
When I open my eyes, someone speaks to me. The voice is different from before. Rashane is standing with his back turned to me. The scenery surrounding us is unfamiliar to me.
ここは
天界都市の中心。中央島の頂点。天界洗礼室さ。
洗礼室。
The scenery takes my breath away. It's as if it came right out of a legend. I instinctively tried to stand up. Or stand up straight. Try. Me. The sky overhead is jet black. It's quiet around me. This is a place I've never set foot into, even being an Algodan. It's sacred ground. I'm standing in a place many Algodans can only dream of. I've been recognized by its ancient ruler. I've been granted the privilege of being here. But it seems unreal to me. My mind is in working order. It's not like I don't realize my situation. But at the same time, it feels as if I'm standing in the middle of a dream.
姉様、ディーレ様は。
She has already been sacrificed.
彼女の仕事も多くてね。君の受け入れのための手配とか任せているんだ。
ディーレ様の仕事が済めば、私は本当に天界都市の住人になるのですか？
そのあたりの話はもう少し後で D でも交えて話そうか。
はい、すみません、焦ってしまって。
いやいや、いいんだよ。それくらいに名誉なことだからさ。
It really hurts to know that Rashane is so obviously a bad guy, but at the same time, he seems so nice. Rashane's voice is light, his smile warm. His words are gentle to match his outward appearance. But even so, doubt lurks within my heart. Though I'm still far from the truth, I know that there is a shadow moving behind the scenes. That's why I can't purely rejoice in my admittance to the Celestial City. Not only was my selection too sudden, it also came under unnatural conditions. The suspicion born from those facts is growing ever stronger.
何か疑問が？
いえ、そんなことはありません。この名誉に恥じないよう、これからも精進するのみです。
頼もしい言葉だ。それくらいの気負いでなきゃ困るけど。
いえ、天界都市の住人という立場ならば、このくらいは。
Don't mind me. I was inspecting Ai's smile very closely because I thought she had her mouth open. But no, it's not open.
君には期待しているよ。他のどんな石であるよりも、さらに先へ進めるとね。
That's basically true for each of the girls in the debate club, I think.
凡民にあらず、天の雲をも越え、そして思考と謳われた姉すらも凌駕する。君がそうあってくれることを、僕は心から望んでいるんだ。
I feel a little uncomfortable. Yeah, I would too. What Rashane is saying doesn't quite match what I had expected. It's a great honor to be accepted in the Celestial City. I've always regarded it with as the highest attainable goal. But Rashane, does he have something else in mind?
私はこの後どうすれば？
しばらくはこの宮殿に滞在してもらう。正式に役職に任命されるまで大した時間はかからないだろうけどね。
天界都市での役職を？
君の力は君自身が考えているよりもさらに優れている。誇るべきものだ。だからそれにふさわしい地位を君に与えたい。ただの上流民ではなくね。
それはどういうことですか？
Something higher than upper class. An Imperial Knight serving Rashane directly. That's the first thing that comes to my mind, or rather, there isn't really anything else that fits the description. Of course, it's not something that should be said lightly. That's because the Imperial Knights have no peer on Algoda.
次の機会に全てを話そう。今はただ心を落ち着けていてくれればいい。
The situation is evolving. It's moving in a direction I didn't know about until now. How will this shape the future? Will it be something beneficial to me? I don't know yet. Dots. Dots. I'll keep going for this part. Why not? Dots. It's been a few days since Rashane's visit. The Zelmer was quite disturbed by the event. It was the first time he showed himself since the end of the war, so everyone must have gotten a new sense of purpose. They're busily collecting information in order to take a position in the negotiations with Algoda. Though part of the reason is that now that the extra-dimensionals are gone, they've lost their main occupation. Of course, I feel that effect all the stronger because we were recruited solely to fight them in the first place. On top of that, Rashane took I back with him on the grounds of her achievements. I can't decide whether that was right or even desirable until I know more. My feelings about it are already set. I want to get her back, if possible, with her consent. Oh. Okay. I can't overlook the slightest thing if I'm going to pull it off. Dots.
たく、俺みたいな戦闘員が資料漁りの仕事まで任せられるとはな。
Oh, Zeta. Just be happy you're not dead yet. Can't be helped. There's nothing else for us to do. Zeta and I are looking over some documents in the meeting room after a nominal training run. We're hoping to learn more about Rashane and Corrales by comparing the battles against the extra-dimensionals with Algoda's actions. Maybe we'll spot something that the automated analysis overlooked. And even if we don't, we'll be more knowledgeable about the situation as a result.
根っからのフレーム乗りにとっては辛いぜ。お前の方は結構手慣れてるみたいだけどよ。
The chief drills me to be good at it during the student council war.
ああ、そんな話もユミナに聞いたな。ちっこい部長に頭が上がらないとか。
Leave me alone. I didn't know how to handle the database at first, but Fal helped out there. Looking through all this material makes me feel nostalgic. Not that I think that's a good thing. We really don't have much info on Algoda, do we?
極端な秘密主義だからな。実際にアルゴダに行ったことのある人間も銀河連邦にはほぼ皆無だろうよ。
And they still count us as allies?
それくらいに奴らの技術力が連邦には重要だったんだよ。アルゴダの力なしじゃ異空隊とまともに戦うこともできなかっただろうしな。
That's rather suspicious. Federation fought the extra-dimensionals because they had Algoda's backing. But what really ended the war was Algoda's power itself in the form of the Ether Frame. When you consider that result, it makes it seem awfully much as if the Federation was a puppet on Rashane's strings all along. I'm sure there are many people in the Federation who think along the same lines. Then there's the matter of Corrales. He had his doubts about Algoda's doctrine even before his betrayal. And Rashane knew about it, at least if Corrales is to be believed.
カラレスが嘘をついているとは考えてないんだろ?
Nope, I trust Corrales. Yeah, this is no reason to lie. He revealed his own betrayal to us. It seems unlikely he would lie about that particular part. But now we're facing Rashane on hostile terms, just like he predicted we would.
となれば怪しいのはリシェインの方か。 一体何を考えてるんだろうな。
Gallion was pretty pissed when he heard that Rashane visited had nah. Gallion was pretty pissed when he heard Rashane had visited us too.
正直あいつには俺たちがリシェインのスパイみたいに扱われてる感じもするけどよ。勘弁してほしいぜ。
Rashane's last visit was the first time we saw him since the annihilation of the extra-dimensionals. When we reported it to headquarters, Gallion was most displeased. I'm sure he was. Rashane acted without even informing the Federation about it. He also said had the power to destroy the extra-dimensionals, but he withheld the information. That's more than enough for someone who didn't trust Algoda to begin with to start looking at them as a real enemy. We've got to find answers to the questions somehow. We don't have time to get in conflict with the Federation.
お前たち作業中か？
Hi, Carrara. Just when I'm about to return my attention to the documents, does a voice. Chief, did something happen?
急いで環境に来い。連邦のあいつと通信会談だ。
Ooh, that'll be fun. The senior staff is already present on the bridge. Preparations have already been made. The big screen is showing a familiar room. It's the correspondence room at Federation headquarters. I've seen it several times before.
勢いで来ちまったが、あいつの嫌味は聞きたくないぞ、俺は。
私も苦手なのよ、あいつ。
I think it's neither, not either.
心配するな。今回の通信を申し出たのは我々ではない。
セレナの仕事じゃないの？言い出したのは黒川さんなんです。もちろん内容については私たちも同意していますが。
Oh, Carrara. You've got something to tell Galliorn, Chief?
そうだ。このままでは拉致が開かないと思ってな。それに、歩夢も望んでいることだろう。
My wishes.
大吉が連れて行かれた。ならば我々はどうすればいいかということだ。
Somebody give Carrara a cookie. Somebody do it right now. Okay? Okay. For various reasons. Carr lines up next to the captain and waits for Galliorn to respond. She shows no anxiety at all, as if she has confidence in what she has to say. We have a job to do. I understand what she means instantly. But will Galliorn accept that? I get the feeling it might be difficult to convince him, given his attitude toward Ethereals. Yeah, but if it'll piss off Shane, then I'm pretty sure he'll be fine with it.
返答を確認しました。ガレオン総帥も準備ができたようです。
うん、始めよう。他の者も参加できるようにな。
I'll ask Galliorn appears in the room on the other side of the screen. Looks even more displeased than usual. It's clearly he's not in a good mood.
誰かと思えば貴様らか。二度も臨時の通信を続けるとは何のつもりだ。アルゴダ星から新たに連絡でもあったか。こちらには何一つよこさないのだがな。
いや、状況は変わっていない。誤解があるようだが、それは否定しておく。
Oh, Easel.
ならば何が目的だ。こちらは反アルゴダ勢力を抑えるのに忙しいのだがな。
私からではなく、所属のイシリアル、黒川キララよりそちらに提言がある。
Oh, even Easel pronounces it Kirara, not Carrara. Ah. Carrara steps forward. Galliorn's eyes go wide in surprise. He didn't expect this.
知っての通り、我々はイシリアルだ。だが、アルゴダの管轄からは遠いところにいる。だから我々なりに連邦艦隊ゼーレルムの一員として現状を打破する手段について考えた。もはや静観していられる事態ではない。少なくとも我々はそう判断している。
静観できないならばどうすると。
当然行動に移るしかあるまい。
Of course.
具体的には？
直接アルゴダ星の調査に出るべきだ。
Kurara speaks so clearly that everyone can hear. There's a disturbance in our ranks. Gallion in particular seems to be rattled.
それはつまりアルゴダ星に連邦艦隊を送ると。
Man, look at that surprise.
そうだ。もはや形だけの同盟関係にこだわる必要もないだろう。アルゴダ星が我々に対し重大な背信行為に及んでいる可能性は十分に考えられる。その真偽を確かめに行くだけだ。
だがそれは決定的な確執。最悪な場合宣戦布告とみなされかねんぞ。
この後に及んで尻込みするか。あれだけシリアルに反目しておきながら重木根性が抜けきらないとはな。
なんだ時様。
Oh, Kurara.
よせ黒川、言葉が過ぎるぞ。ガレオンも真に受けるな。
Look at Easel put it in both of their places. Captain immediately steps in to stop things from escalating. But Kurara is the one to speak next.
争いの火種になりかねないのは確かだ。異空隊の戦乱がようやく収まったこの時期に好ましくない動きとも言える。だがリシェインに好き勝手な行動を許してはいけない。お前もそれは感じているだろう。
やはり何かを企んでいると。
確証はない。だが的外れとも思えん。このままでは異空隊以上の脅威になる可能性も捨てきれないということだ。
だが連邦艦隊を動かすとなると今後の交渉にも差し支えるだろう。
だろうな。以前のような友好関係を維持するのは難しくなる。
And that's why the Zellerm is going next solo again.
もしも艦隊を動かせないならせめて一隻このゼーレルムを派遣するのはどうだ。
何を考えている。わざわざ口を出すからには理由があるのだろう。銀河連邦における自分たちの立場を忘れるな。今アルゴダと接触すれば貴様らも同様に警戒を向けられるぞ。
お前自身は我々とリシェインの間に極秘裏のつながりがあると考えているのか。
Coots.
可能性としては否定できん。
厄介なものだな。だが我々にとって理由は別にある。
わざわざ直接出向くほどのか。
我々と同じゼーレルム所属だったイシリアルオキツアイがリシェインに連れて行かれた。
そういえばそんな報告を受けていたな。アルゴダのエージェントという話だったが。
それでも我々にとっては仲間だ。納得できる理由がない限りは連れ戻したい。
Chief.
というのは後ろにいる一人の気持ちを代弁しただけだがな。
Thank you. What? Hey! Kurara turns around and grins at me. It's a knowing grin that tells me she can see right through me.
そしてこの船の乗員にはかつて緑下ユミカを支援する仲間だった者もいる。そのユミカを裏切ったのはリシェインのこの騎士だったカラレスだ。このことに因縁を感じる者だっている。リシェインが隠している真実を知りたい。ゼーレルムの人間はそれを人一倍強く願っているのだ。
これが彼女の意見だ。 同時に我々ゼーレルムの見解でもある。総帥としての返答を聞きたい。
なるほどな。
Gun's eyes narrow thoughtfully. Can't be such a bad proposition even to him. Needs to reach some kind of conclusion about Algoda, and it's true that he's not making any progress right now. He has no reason to refuse the Zom's request, especially since he considers us a nuisance anyway. Wonder how strong Galliard's suspicions that we're on Rashane's side are. Jeez.
わかった。貴様らにアルゴダ星調査の任務を与えよう。リシェインの暴挙は目に余る。これから平和を築くためには障害となろう。それを取り除くのが貴様らの役目だ。
So he's telling us to kill him?
感謝する。では正式な作戦命令が下り次第、我々は行動に移らせていただく。
Do we get a couple more days? Except probably not, since we don't have the entire team. After some obligatory greetings, the screen goes back to its default picture. Everyone exhales as the string of tension is cut. Return to Carrara. Thanks, Chief.
興津は論絶部の部員でもある。私の部活である以上、好きにはさせんさ。ガレオンにも状況を判断できるだけの頭はある。これが最前提だとな。
しかしすごいなお前も。ガレオン相手にあれだけ堂々と喋れるの艦長くらいだと思ってたぜ。
Well, in another timeline, Carrara was captain. So that might be it.
確かに驚きました。権力に屈しないってかっこいいですね。私を甘く見るなよ。元より度胸がなければやってられん。生徒会大戦のことを知ってれば、ああやっぱりって思うんだけどね。命令が下るまで時間はかからんだろう。戦闘になる可能性だってある。しっかりと準備を整えておけ。
In what way? We all nod in response. We're going into unknown territory, but there's no need to be hesitant. We're going to fight in our own way to get our comrade back. Dots. Okay, well, this part has been about 40 minutes, so I'm going to stop this part here. I'm going to go get something to drink and start uploading this and then start on the next part. So, see you then. Also, I do realize that Rashane could have just been talking about Algodans in general. Like he wants to spread them throughout the entire universe. So yeah, there's that. Bye.